Hey guys, Robert Napoli here, Base Technologies. What we're wanting to show today is we have Ismail. He is a young athlete. It's going to be kind of new for him. What we're going to show you today is using box jumps and single leg Bavarian split squat to assess stability and use box jumps as a baseline for testing. So we have a new athlete and we want to put him through a new progression to get stronger with his lower body. So what we're going to do is have him do a couple box jumps to get speed and power, and we can use that as a baseline. We'll retest that in 6 weeks. What we also want to do is have him do split squat, or single leg Bavarian split squat. We want to assess speed, power, but really what we're wanting to look at is stability. Is he going down in a controlled movement, or is he having problems staying stabilized? And we can use this information to build a program and have him focus on different exercises to really become more powerful and explosive, which is important for an athlete. He plays wide receiver for a team here, so that's what we want to accomplish today in his testing cycle. So first thing we're going to have him do is 2 rounds of normal box jumps, 2 rounds of 3. We're going to use that as to get a quick testing measure, give us a baseline to test against in 6 weeks. Right now we're going to have him do the 20-inch box. He might be able to go higher, but what we want to do is use this to test, and we'll also test how high we can get on his box in 6 weeks, but also speed and power. So we have the Beast Vest. The best place for this assessment is going to be having the Beast on the lower back here. It gives us the best body control movement. Alright, so sets of 3. Okay. Okay, so as we can see, we are doing box jumps, stepping up and down. We pick up everything on the vertical plane, but we obviously know that the 3 big peaks are going to be his jumps. So we want to look at these. We'll quickly delete the extra reps. So use the delete function. It's really easy to do. Get our data cleaned up real quick. Okay, so we're moving. So between the 3 jumps, he was at 1.65, and his slowest was 1.55, pushing around 1,800 back. So it's a good starting point. So we're going to do 3 more. Again, really focus on control down and exploding up as high as you can, right? All right. Good. Get a little closer to the box. Really explode. Good. Good, 1 more. Good. So again, we have our reps. We have 1 movement in between, so we'll take that out. You can see his average mean speed. What we want to look at here is his consistency. So he's pretty consistent between 2 sets. That gives us a good baseline for box squats. So we're going to put him through an assessment on single leg stability. So we're going to have you do the single leg Bavarian split squats that we talked about. So right now we're going to have to do a single leg Bavarian split squat. We're really going to focus on his form, his stability, and see what we get from a data perspective to see what we need to work on. So go ahead and start. Do 5 reps. Good. Good. Switch. There you go. Good. Get all the way down. Good. Good. 1 more. So, what we can see between his 2 sets is that we had him do, what was your first rep? Right leg back?
Left leg.
Left leg was back. So his right leg was stronger than his left leg, and you can see that pretty clearly. Also through his reps, one side was much more, looked stronger, the other side looked more wobbly. So we know that we want to do some stability work, some single leg remaining deadlifts, single leg split squat, maybe some single leg front squat. to really work on his stability, getting all his lower body in sync so that he can be a stronger, more explosive player. So that's how you can quickly use a couple of tests to assess a young athlete. We'll build a 6-week program really focused on things that he wants to work on is wide receiver, speed, starting speed, and explosiveness, as well as we'd like to get his jump higher, because the higher a receiver can jump, the higher he can high point a ball. So that's what we'll do moving forward. Alright, so today we have Lucho, who trains 3 times a week, fitness enthusiast. What we're wanting to do is show you how you can use Beast to do a fitness test. This is going to work on his jump power. He's going to do a jump, come down into a push-up. We can do this for an endurance test, or we can do it as a power test. Today we're going to do it as a power test to get a baseline. And what we're going to do from there is we'll do a 6-week training cycle, really working on his goals, which are becoming more explosive, becoming a more well-rounded lifter. So what we're going to have you do is do 5 reps, jump, come down, push-up, non-stop, as fast as you can, all right? We'll have you do 2 sets of 5. We'll break in between, all right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Good. Good. Excellent. Good. Keep it up. Good. Excellent. Let's go finish it. Perfect. Okay, so we use the circuit training mode. There's obviously with this is going to be some extra reps in between as there's a lot of movement. As a trainer, we have watchful eyes, so we see our peaks, and so I know where his peaks for his jumps and his push-ups are. So I'm going to clean the data really quick to give you guys a good view. Again, with this test, we have, as you can turn around, we have Lucho using on the back. It's a good spot on the lower back to be the best focused. All right, so we can see the big jumps, but the big peaks are his 5 jumps, and you can see your push-ups in between. You can see that over time, even just over 5 reps, he lost a little bit, so some fatigue. We're going to have to do another round. What we like to do eventually is have him do 10 at a time and really see him keep his power high. So it's a great test as he wants to get really hardcore training in the gym as an enthusiast, just working on height and speed, so, and as well as overall endurance. It's a great endurance test. So we're going to have to go one more time. 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. As you can see, he's got good form with his getting explosive on his jumps, getting down quick, getting a quick full push-up in. This is exactly what you want to see out of the test. Good. Keep it up. Last. Let's go finish. Excellent. Again, he did a great job with his form. He was very explosive on his jumps. He got down quick, did a great full range push-up. Exactly what we're going to see out of this test. Good job, Lucho. So we're going to quickly clean up the data and compare. Again, we can see pretty consistent through his time. He kind of got a little bit fatigued, but both sets were very consistent, looked very good. Power went down just a little bit, which fatigue comes into play there, so we can use that. What we'll do is we'll use this as a baseline test. Give us a great starting point to get him on his next 6-week program. Eventually we want to see is him getting higher, get a bigger box, and be more explosive on the push-up. And we do a fun test later with a higher box and a weighted push-up later. So great job, great test. That's how we can use it to do an endurance and power test. Today we have Tommy. Tommy is an advanced athlete. He plays receiver. He's an advanced lifter. He's been doing this for a long time. Played multiple sports, so he's an advanced athlete. Right now, we're about 6 months out from his next season. So what we're wanting to do is work on drop jumps, so dropping from an elevated height and getting to a bigger box. And then we're going to do seated jumps. What we're looking for today is ground contact time, making sure there's as little ground contact time as possible between the drop and the jump. And then when we get to seated box jumps, how quickly he can go from a prone position, getting up off the ground, really focusing on power. Power is how quickly he can move. So right now we're 6 months out, we want to work on speed, on the ground contact time, and power getting up out of a prone position. So we're going to have him go a couple of rounds and show you how we can use these to track all that. So, Tommy, you ready? All right. Do sets of 5. Ready, and go. Good. We're really focusing on getting up quick as possible. Good. Continue to take away that ground contact time. Boom. Good. 2 more. Good. Let's go. Last one. Good. So we decided to use velocity to track because this is a speed exercise. The average mean speed was 1.26, and we say it shows you that that was good. So we're actually in his optimal speed training zone today. You can see his peaks from when he stepped up, dropped down, and jumped. The big peaks being his jump. He's got 5 reps and 5 very consistent reps. So we're gonna have you do another round. And go. Good, get up. There we go. Good. Good. 2 more. Excellent. Last one. Good. Perfect. So again, we have good reps. What we're also going to do is the speed was a little slowed down because of the small reps. So I'm going to clean up the data. Why I do that, I want to explain to you. When we talk about lifting, we talk about box jumps. And most coaches what we want to make sure you know is the box height is important, but make sure you pick a good box height for your athlete. Meaning we don't want him to force himself if he can't get this for consistent sets. That's where injuries happen. So make sure when you do box jumps tests at any level, you're using err on the side of caution. You want to push your athletes and make them get up to be stronger, but make sure that you are smart with your choices so that you don't put your athlete at risk. So just throwing that in there. So we're going to clean up the data really quick, get just his jumps, and we're going to see how he did today. In his normal progression, we probably have him do 3 to 5 sets of 5, making sure he gets quite a bit of work in. Trying to give him good rest time because we want to simulate some on the field reps in rest time when it comes to American football. So here we've got his 10 jumps. They look good, very consistent, which is what we want to see out of an advanced athlete. We want him to be able to do 3 to 5 sets, consistent reps. So we see that he's consistent, and we see that his average speed is 2.34. Again, showing that was good. He's in his target zone. So Tommy is training pretty optimally. We can always say that he can improve. We can do some weighted things to keep getting him stronger. But for advanced technique, that's very good with technique, form, and ground contact time. So next we have him do a seated box jump. So he's going to be prone. We want to work on power and getting explosive. What we use too is we're going to use the box jump feature. We can also go ahead and create a different exercise. We can create a seated box jump. We can create the fitness test. We can do all that. Two things we want to look at when we're doing an advanced technique like this is we have our power. Power needs to stay consistent. And the same thing with our speeds. So speed of the lift needs to stay consistent. As a high-level athlete, speed should never drop. If you see major drops in speed, it's either fatigue or technique, so you need to reevaluate where you are and possibly look to train some of this training to keep that consistency. So as we do a box jump test like this, speed and power should remain consistent throughout these reps. All right, is that good? Perfect. So now we're going to go on to the next cycle here. So we're going to have him do seated box jumps. Use the last again. sure that the wide side is facing your athlete, giving him more surface to land on to negate any risk of injury. So, Tommy's going to be seated. Again, you can see Tommy wearing the Beast vest. We have the sensor located on the back. That lower back never moves. It's a very good spot to always stay consistent when we're jumping. It doesn't flex too much like we have it at the top. So that's why we have it sitting there. We're going to have it sitting completely prone. And then when we say go, his jump is to be explosive as possible. And with as little time, give him a seated position, jumping up onto the box. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. We're going to have to do sets of 5 again. Good. Quicker, let's go. Perfect. One more. Good. Okay. Those were good reps. We're going to clean up the data real quick. His average speed is 1.34. Again, the app is saying that was good. He's in his optimal training zone. We're using the velocity setting, so speed is the important key factor. And then you can see that his sets, or his reps, were very consistent. Once again, speed and power need to be consistent in an exercise like this, so he's doing a very good job for this advanced technique. Let's have you hit one more set. Go. Good. Good. Let's go. One more. Perfect. Clean up really quick. That was better. It was a lot better. So as you can see, his second set was actually faster and more powerful. He did a much better job of finding his power, getting those fast fibers to move and getting up on the box, which is very good for an advanced athlete. Kind of the next stage in the progression, we can put a weighted vest or having hold weights. As we progress closer to the season, we want to get him moving faster and being more powerful so he can go and get footballs and do different things. So it's a great way to track his progress and see how he's developing over time. And just to see his power increased, as we can say, he just said himself, this feels like a better set. And his speed went up. His average speed is 1.56 again in his optimal training zone for the day. So very good job on his tests, or I guess his sets for the day. We'll finish up and have him do the rest of his progression, and then we'll see how he continues to progress over a 6-week cycle. We do test out to see how it translates to everything. So that's how we can use advanced technique block jumps. That's the best way to use your beast. If you don't have the vest, using a belt or some sort of apparatus, or if you tuck it in the waistband, is kind of the best hack to use. But nothing beats having the vest for the best clean data. I hope you found this useful. Leave us comments, let us know. You can always reach us at info@beast-technologies.com. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, using #BeastSensor on all your pictures, and look for us to repost you. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, and know your beast.